yourself?
My name is David Chabala. I'm the owner of Hallowed Grounds. I roast coffee here. That's my job. And I have two roasters here. I have a 10-kilo roaster, which is a Toper 10 kilo. I have an Ambex 5-kilo roaster here. And what we do here is we roast green coffee beans, and we get coffee from all over the world. I have coffee from South American, Indonesian coffees. We have African coffees, and everywhere there's a coffee region, that's where we get coffee from. What we do here for our roasting process is we get green bean, which this is a bag of Colombian here, and the coffee comes in green, and it comes in 150-pound bags, and we get 10 of these a month, and we order coffee from a bunch of different we have a bunch of different people and farms that we buy our coffee from. We have broker that helps us put all our coffee orders together, and then what we do is whenever we get all our coffee in, we bring it in a building here. We store it underneath the counters here, and they're all marked from what country they're from. I'll explain the roasting process here to you. What we do is you put the coffee in the funnel here, and whenever you open up the gate, it goes down into the gas-fired drum. This is a gas-fired burner. It's kind of like a grill that you grill burgers and stuff on in the summertime. It has a flame underneath there, and it spins like a dryer. It's kind of like a little bit like a big dryer, and what it does is it roasts the coffee beans at 400 degrees, and we roast different coffees at different levels of roast. So I have different temperature settings for different beans, and I have different roast levels for different beans. Now you put the coffee in the funnel, goes into the drum, and then there's a glass eye here for you to check the color of the beans, and there's also a checker that you can pull the beans out, and it lets you see the level of roast that they're at. And I judged my coffee roasting by sight, sound, and smell. We have two sets of cracks on the coffee. We have a first crack and a second crack. The first crack is usually what you have in the what you have for your lighter roasted coffees and your medium roasted coffees, and then whenever you go into second crack and beyond second crack will be your dark roast to espresso roast. And then you listen for the crack, and that gives you an idea of where you're at on your roast, and then you start checking for your sight. And I do most of mine mostly by smell. When you pull this out, you can smell the coffee beans, and I could tell by the smell of the beans what it's going to taste like. I can't even explain how I do that, but it's just something I learned over time. I've been doing this for 9 years, and when I know that my coffee's ready, I open up the gate here, and the beans come out of the exit here, and they go into the cooling tray, and this spins around here. It has a arm that just turns the bean around, and there's a fan that draws the air down through here, which it's the cooling process, and what it does is stops the roasting process is what it does. And then after the beans are cooled, then we open up this gate right here. They go into the bucket, and then from the bucket I take it out to the bins I have out. Take it out to the bins I have out in the store there. Every coffee is roasted different here. My Ethiopian coffees, I do a light roast on them. My Colombian coffees, I'll do a light and a dark roast. All beans have different tolerances of roast. Some beans taste better light, some beans taste better dark. Some beans taste good both ways, but that's just something that you learn through a period of time in the process. Okay, we came up with the name Hallowed Grounds from the book of Exodus, and it was when Moses said you're walking on hallowed grounds, and it kind of stuck with coffee grounds, so we kind of put the two together, and that's how we came up with that. I like a light roasted coffee because I'd rather taste the bean than a roast, and also lighter roasted coffees have more caffeine in them. A lot of people think when they're darker and they have that stronger taste to them that they actually have more caffeine in it, but it's not true. Whenever you roast it dark, you actually roast the caffeine out of it. And that's just a big misconception in a coffee world. But you'd be surprised the amount of flavor that you have in a light roasted coffee, because it just tasting the bean is what you really want to taste, not the roast. But there are some people, they like that dark burnt taste, and we do that here for them also. So you can get your coffee any way you want to here. We can custom roast for people. We have businesses that we do commercial accounts with, and we do special roasts for them. And we also have customers that come in that have particular roasts that they like, and I'll do custom roasts for people here also. A lot of people don't realize that roasted coffee is like a chef in a restaurant. It's basically you're cooking beans, and every chef is different, every chef cooks different, every coffee roaster roasts different. And our coffee has a unique taste because it's unique to the way that I roast the coffee, and our customers love our coffee. So it's something that you need to try. If you haven't tried Hallowed Grounds, you definitely need to come here and try our coffee, because it tastes like nothing else that you've ever tasted before.